Y'all know how I am about my hair. Like, it has to be even on both sides. Okay, good. Hey guys, it's Celia and I'm back with another video. You'll probably see another video with the same hair and outfit, but I'm just trying to get videos done. So I wanted to do a mommy Q&A. I've said I was supposed to do a mom Q&A like 100 times and I have yet to do it, so I'm doing it today. Samaya will be 6 months. Yeah, 6 months in a week. So I just thought it was a good time to kind of reflect and do or answer some questions for you guys, because I know a lot of you are young or you're expecting, or you just, I don't know, you just want to know. So I wrote down a ton of questions that I typically always get, and then I did ask you guys for some extras. So I'm going to try and get through all of them. It's like 24 questions. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of them, but I'm going to try. So, alright, so first question is, do you regret having kids young? I wouldn't say I regret having kids young, but if I could do things over again, I definitely would have waited to have kids, just because being a mom is hard in general, but when you're young it can definitely be a lot harder, because I don't know, I just feel like sometimes I do miss out on certain things. I feel like I do have a lot more responsibilities, so yeah, sometimes I do think back and think, you know, dang, what would my life be like if I didn't have kids so young? But I love my babies, and you know, it is what it is. It's not something I just think about every day like, oh, I wish I would have waited to have kids. You know, it's not something I think of like that. But I do, you know, sometimes I do imagine my life if I would have waited, but I love my kids, so. Next question is, how do you find time to do your hair? I got a lot of questions on how I find time to do my hair and how I just find time to do anything in general, with not even just a baby but with 2 kids. So I don't even know what to say. It's kind of, you just have to find time. There is always time, whether you have to put something off and do it later, or you have to, I don't know. Typically how I find time to do anything, especially my hair, is 1, I wait until Samaya is asleep. When it was only Malia, when she was asleep, immediately I showered, immediately I recorded, did my hair, ate, whatever the heck I could do while she was asleep. Because you guys know, in the baby stage, especially newborn, they sleep for hours, so take advantage. You know, I know a lot of us are tired and etc., but sometimes you have to decide, okay, am I gonna sleep or am I gonna get something done? So sometimes you have to sacrifice. So that's one thing. I kind of missed my finger. That's one thing I do. And then, you know, I do have Malia too, so it's easy at her age now. She's 3, so I can put a movie on and have her sit down. I can give her some snacks. I could put her on her tablet. It's kind of really easy to, like, get her to do something. And a majority of the time, you guys, I let her be right with me. Even when Malia was a baby, she would be in the background. You guys know. She would be in the background too, just doing whatever she's doing. You kind of have to block your children out sometimes. Sometimes Samaya is up. Sometimes she's a little fussy. Sometimes Malia isn't listening. And it's okay if your baby cries. Don't be that parent who, if your baby cries, you literally just stop everything you're doing and you have to just, you know, babies cry. Sometimes you can have their diaper change, you could have fed them, you could have done everything you needed to do, and they will still cry. So sometimes I let somebody cry. I've let Malia cry. They will be okay. If that's what I have to do in order to get some time, I'm gonna do it, because trust me, you don't want to be that parent who just can't do anything. Also, you know, like I said, you have to sacrifice. So sometimes I'll wake up really early if I want to get a video done, if I want to shower, if I want to eat in peace. Sometimes I'll go to bed late, fight my sleep if I need to get something done. So it's all about finding the time. Next question is, what are your views on birth control? So I've tried different birth controls. I've tried the pill, which I can't ever remember to take. I've tried the patch, and I've tried Depo. And the patch and Depo both gave me 2-month-long periods, literally. And that is a nightmare. And I hate when the doctors be like, oh, it's just a side effect, and they just let you bleed for 2 whole months before they do anything. Like, no. So I don't use birth control. Obviously, that's why I got 2 kids. But yeah, I'm really scared to get like an IUD or anything inserted anywhere in me, because I just always hear like horror stories. So I'm scared to get one of those. So I don't use birth control. But you guys know I don't want to have any more kids. So I've been debating back and forth what I want to do, but as of right now, I don't like birth control and I don't use it. Next question is, would you try for a boy? No. I wanted Samaya to be a boy. I always thought it would be just so perfect if I had a girl and a boy, but I got 2 girls, and I'm honestly happy with 2 girls. I just feel like I was meant to raise girls. I feel like some parents, they shouldn't have boys and they shouldn't have girls or whatever. I was meant to have girls, and I'm not trying for another kid, because if it comes out to be a girl, I'm going to be mad. And plus, I don't want any more kids, so no. Next question is, what are some tips on giving birth naturally, and can you give us a little bit of your experience? So I did give birth naturally to Samaya. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll put it down below. You guys get to see literally everything from contractions, and you get to hear me screaming and pushing. Having a support system or team around you is so important. With Malia, I didn't really have anyone chanting me on to say, you know, you can do this, you don't need epidural. That's why I got epidural. Now, if you guys watched my vlog, you guys know Jabari was there for me 100%. He was holding my hands. He was letting me be mean to him. And he was just telling me, you can do this. If you have someone chanting you on, cheering you on, then that just makes a world of a difference. 2, listen to your doctor. If they are telling you how to breathe in and out, through your nose, out through your mouth, whatever, do it. I honestly, like, I was so tired and irritated of my doctor telling me that, but it helped. When you really focus on your breathing, just nice and slow, it really helps. So that's another tip if you want to give birth naturally without epidural. What's another thing? I guess my last tip would be to just believe that you can do it. If you go in, before you even get to the hospital, if you're just set on, I don't think I could do this, I'm gonna need an epidural, you're gonna need an epidural. But if you go into this saying, I want to give birth naturally, and you just kind of do it, and it just happens. So I know a lot of people ask me, how does the pain feel? I don't even know how to explain it. It hurts. It hurts really bad, but it's quick. Once, you know, you pop your baby out, it's over with. You feel a big, huge relief. And that was another question. A lot of people actually asked, why do I prefer natural birth over epidural? So I did say, I don't remember where I said it. I might have said it in a vlog or something. But giving birth naturally and giving birth with epidural, I definitely feel like you just have so much more of a connection when you literally feel your child come out of you. With Malia, I got epidural and I was so numb. I wouldn't have even known they pulled the baby out of me. I didn't feel anything. And don't get me wrong, I love my baby and I was so happy to have her, but my experience with Samaya was so much more emotional. I think I cried for days because it was just so amazing to me that I felt my child come out of me. Like, I literally felt her shoulders, her head, everything come out. So that's why I personally would do a natural birth all over again. A lot of people ask, how was potty training with Malia? Potty training with her was honestly very easy. She would have been potty trained earlier if I didn't get pregnant. When I was pregnant, I was slacking. I was tired. I was going through morning sickness, so I kind of slacked and kept her in the pull-up. But for the most part, potty training, it was easy with her. I know it differs for boy to girl, so I have a girl, so that's all I can speak on, but take them in the bathroom with you when you use the bathroom. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be in there anyways. So when you're in there, show them what you're doing. Like, this is your child, so it's nothing weird. It's not nasty. You have to teach them these things. And if your child is like mine, Malia mimics everything I do and everything I did. So if you're showing her how to, I was showing her how to wipe. I was showing her to get on the pot. That's what we call it, the pot, the potty. To flush. So what I would do when she started to really understand, I would say potty, wipe, flush, and wash your hands. So every time she would go in the bathroom, she would say it. She would say, Mommy, potty, wipe, flush. You know, so you just kind of got to get them into the routine. Obviously, when they're first starting out, you want to kind of time it. So every 30 minutes, every hour or so. Yes, Malia?
Is she done?
No, I'm almost done, baby.
Yes, she is.
I'm not.
Yes, she is.
Go back in there, okay? I'm almost done.
Baby!
Go in there. I'm going to get you a snack, okay?
Okay.
Go in there.
Give me some juice, some peanut butter, and some dinner.
Okay. Peanut butter and jelly and juice?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And some dinner.
And some dinner?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to get it for you. Can Mommy finish her video?
Okay.
Okay, love you.
Love you.
Okay, close the door.
Okay. Why are you so faker?
I'm not a faker. Oh my God. Go. Okay, for real, go. Thank you, baby.
Okay, bonehead.
She called me a bonehead. Y'all, this girl's crazy.
What? I didn't say you're a bonehead.
Okay, for real, go. Hey. What was I saying? But yeah, when they're starting out, of course, you want to take them every 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour, whatever. For me, I kind of just knew. Like, if I gave her some juice or some water, I kind of just knew. And I was like, you know what? I think it's been a minute. Let me put her on this potty. I don't care if she says she don't got to go. I'm putting her on. So that, and then just staying consistent. You can't try to potty train one day and then a week later think they're going to be doing it again. Like, you have to do it consistently. So yeah, those are my tips. A lot of people ask me, am I still breastfeeding, why I stopped, and etc. So I did actually do a video on why I stopped breastfeeding. I'll put that down below. But long story short, it hurt. It hurt really bad. I couldn't get her to latch on. She was just pinching my nipple, and it was excruciating pain to the point where I was very depressed. I was crying. And I didn't want to feed my child. I feel like when you get to that point, you just got to do what you got to do. The only reason I breastfed is because, like I said, I don't want to have any more kids. And I wanted to experience breastfeeding. And after experiencing it, I would never do it again. I'm perfectly fine with feeding my child out of a bottle with formula. I did it with Malia. She was just fine. She was advanced. She's healthy. So, yeah. How did you choose names for your kids? So, my children's names are Malia, and a lot of people ask me how old they are. Malia is 3, and then Samaya, and she is about to be 6 months. So with Malia, my name is Salia. So I know it's cheesy. I kind of just mixed my name with her dad's name. His name starts with an M, so I just, Malia, put it together. So that was the first name I came up with, and my dumb self went and told everybody, and everybody was just calling her Malia, so that just kind of became her name. Like, it would have felt weird to call her something else, but I love her name. Now, Samaya, I wanted to name her Amaya, but Jabari liked Samaya. And at first I did not want to name her Samaya. I was just like, no, like, you ain't naming my baby, this is my baby. But after a while I kept saying it, I was like, I like this. And then it kind of sounds like my name, because Salia, Samaya. So I feel like both of my kids kind of have like a little portion of my name. Now, someone asked me, what is something you miss doing before you had kids? Now, there isn't anything necessarily I miss doing. Now that I have kids, I can still do stuff with kids. It's just a little bit harder because, you know, I gotta put them first at all times. You know, I gotta have a babysitter. I gotta even make sure I feel like going out, because half the time I'd be tired. So, what I would say I miss is just being able to get up and go. That has definitely been a struggle. Sometimes I wish, you know, if someone wants to hang out with me, I could just be like, sure, let me put my coat on and go. But, you know, I have to see if I have a babysitter, if someone wants to watch the kids. Even if I do bring the kids, it's like I got to get 3 whole people dressed. So that's just something I miss. A lot of people ask me if the kids are on a schedule, and my kids are not on a schedule. I didn't even have Malia on a schedule. Any parent who has their kids on a set schedule, I give you guys a kudos, because I cannot do it. Like, I mean, I could if I tried, but I don't know. They ain't on the schedule. This was a really good question. I actually really liked. It says, what are some values you want your kids to learn from you? So some values that I want my kids to have that they learn from me is 1, independence. I am such an independent person because my mom taught me to be very independent. And me and my mom, we struggled. I did not have like I didn't have the most horrible childhood, but it wasn't easy. You know, me and my mom, we lived on people's couches. We didn't have our own place, own apartment until I was in 6th grade. We were constantly living with people. I've been to a whole bunch of different elementary schools, constantly moving, constantly having to make friends. So watching my mom having to struggle, having no help, having to do everything on our own with a child, definitely shaped me to be how I am. And then she also just taught me to be very independent. So that's definitely something I would want my children to learn from me. Someone also asked me, would you change your kid's last name? So Samaya, you guys know Jabari is her dad, and she has his last name. So I'm not changing her last name because, you know, Jabari is a great father. Now, Malia, she does have a different father. She has his last name, which I hate. And I've debated on changing her last name. I don't know. It's not something where I'm going to hide from her and not tell her, you know, who her father is or just try to hide it. But I just feel like he doesn't have a part in her life, so why does she even have his last name? It kind of irritates me. And then I don't want her to be like, you know, mommy, I don't know, it's like both my kids got 2 different last names. It's like I want them to have the same last name, or at least have her have mine. That's something I'm debating on, but I don't know. I might just keep her name how it is because that's what I named her. How is your body after pregnancy? So I can't complain. I have 2 kids. And everything's normal. I'm still 90 pounds. I still got a nice flat stomach. I don't have any stretch marks. The only thing I would say is my boobs shrunk now that I've breastfed. I've always had really small boobs. I've always wore an A cup, like the first size, A32. Sometimes I get a double A32. But I just feel like now they're gone. Like, even my bras that I have, they don't fill, my boobs don't fill them up. So that sucks, but what can I do about it? Another thing is I definitely feel like after pregnancy, my periods are so long, you guys. I feel like they be lasting like 2 weeks. and it sucks. Like, being on your period for a couple days a week sucks, but longer than that, it's just, I hate it. Like, I hate it. I'm glad I don't get cramping, so that's a good thing, but it just be too long. Now, another question I got is, how would you parent differently than your parents did? Or what's something you would do different? And I personally would say, now I will say my parents are very open. They've talked about, you know, they talked about lots of things with me. But I feel like they were like more so, oh, you can come to me, you can talk to me, I won't be mad at you. But when you talk to them and you tell them stuff, they're mad at you and they punish you for what you told them. So that's something I would change. I don't want to, you know, kind of say, you know, I'm here for you, I'm not going to judge you, whatever, and then turn around and, you know, you're in trouble for whatever you say. I want to be open with my kids. I don't want to have any secrets. Because I feel like that's why I was a little bit sneaky, because even though my parents said I could talk to them, I knew if I told them I was going to get in trouble, so I just didn't tell them stuff. And I don't want my kids to be like that. I don't want to have sneaky kids. I want them to be open, but I don't want to be too much of a best friend to where, you know, like, you have to have that kind of, like, distance, that kind of gap. You don't want to be too much of your child's best friend to where they don't really see that you're their parent, but you still want to have that relationship. A lot of people also ask if I co-parent with Malia's dad, and I answered this in my last Q&A too, but we don't have any contact. And if you want to know the reason why, I'll put the video down below. I'm sure a lot of you already know. As far as Jabari, everyone always asks this. We still live together, you guys. We co-parent in the same house. But I am working on getting my own place, because obviously I just feel like it's time for us to have our own space right now. Yeah. For the most part, he does work a lot, so that's why if you see my vlogs and stuff, he's never really in them, because he's always at work. But that's just how it is, so. How has being a mom changed you? I feel like everybody typically always says this, but being a mom definitely just put me on a better path. Not saying I was on a bad path, because before I had Malia, I was working. I had just graduated from high school. I was taking college classes. I was doing pretty good. I was fine. But I didn't have any goals. I honestly was just in college because my parents said I had to go. I was working, but I would save a little bit, but I was pretty much just working to go shopping. Like, I didn't have any goals. And once I became a mother, that definitely changed. I wanted to save so I could have money for me and my kids. I wanted to do something positive. That's why I took this whole blogging thing really serious. So it just has helped me to have goals and want to do better. Now, I also like this question. Was it hard finding a man when you already had a child? So when I had Malia, even having Samaya, you guys, don't listen to what people say. Guys, the internet will sit here and tell you, you know, if you have a kid, if you're pregnant, if you have 2, 3, however many kids, no man's ever going to want you. That is a lie. Guys do not care how many kids you got, okay? It's still gonna talk to you. They don't care if you are pregnant. It's still gonna talk to you. That does not mean that they're the best guy for you or that they don't have bad intentions, but guys are still going to talk to you, especially if you're a good mother and you're a hard-working mother. A lot of men who say they won't date someone with children will change their mind if they see a hard-working mother who is a go-getter, who takes care of her kids, who is independent, because it's an attractive trait. Don't get me, don't get me wrong, there are a ton of women out here who have kids and they leave their kids with whoever and be out partying. They got on nice clothes, their kids look raggedy. So not all the moms out here are good moms. So don't worry, you guys. As long as you are taking care of your kids, you're taking care of yourself, someone's going to find you attractive. Someone's going to find everything about you attractive, even your kids. So yeah. Okay, so I hope this video isn't too long, but the last question is, I get this a lot. How did I afford to move out at such a young age with a child? So if you didn't know, I did get my own place with Malia's father when I was 19. So I was 19 and I was pregnant, and I could have stayed at home with my mom, but I didn't want to be a burden. Even though she said I wouldn't have been, even though she said it would have been fine, I personally felt like I would have been a burden, you know. Don't nobody want to hear a crying baby. Don't nobody want to, you know. So I chose to get an apartment with him. And at that point, he was working. I was working at TJ Maxx. I worked my entire pregnancy with Malia up until like a week before my due date. So pretty much we put our money together, what we had saved, and it was our last to get our place. And then from there, we just worked our behinds off. You know, even though I hated it, I would stay later if I had to. I would pick up shifts if I had to. That's kind of what you have to do if you are young, if you have minimum wage jobs and you're struggling. I can't even lie, I was on food stamps when I had Malia. I was on food stamps. I got child care from the state. So if you need help, get help, you guys. It is perfectly fine to be on those things if you really need it. Trust me. I wouldn't have been able to put her in daycare, and then I wouldn't have been able to go to work. And that would have been hard because we wouldn't have enough money to pay our bills. So you got to do what you got to do. I know there are girls out here working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. You know, you just got to do what you got to do. So I definitely enjoyed answering those questions, you guys. I'm going to try to make sure I do more Q&As and chit chats and stuff with you guys because I really enjoy it. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Definitely if you want to see more videos from me. And yeah, leave some comments down below on anything that I said in this video. I'd love to chat further with you guys, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.